Okay, friends, my mission is to make it so my friend the Schwa is not so scary. I know it can be really hard to teach the Schwa because it's a little bit obscure. It doesn't have like the most hard and fast rules that go with it. So it's kind of out there kind of floating by itself. And we don't want that. We want to bring it in and let it be useful because it is when a vowel is being unstressed in the word, it's just not going to do its job. It's not going to say its long sound. It's not going to say its short sound. It's going to say or or I, like in the lemon was. These are words where the vowel is just being lazy. And I've talked in the last couple of videos about what to first do to get your learners ready to decode and encode for Schwa. And the very first thing, and I'll say it every time, that you really need to do is start working with your learners with phonological awareness so they know where stress is in a word. So in the word like lemon, is it in lem or un? Where is it being strong? Which syllable is it being lazy? Lem is a nice strong sound. The E is doing its job. It's saying but here the O is being lemon. It's being lazy in syllable 2. So just knowing where a Schwa is going to be with that phonological awareness is going to be really critical. And you're going to need to work with this a lot because it's not easy. You got to keep at it. But then there are some, when you realize you're trying to spell a word and it's going to be a Schwa because you know there's not a whole lot of stress in that ending of the word or beginning of the word, that syllable, you need to figure out which letter to use to represent the Schwa. Is it going to be an A, E, I, O, or U? So there's a couple things you can do. You need to start teaching your students the patterns that are common in the English language. And we've already talked about how the A loves to come and save the day if there's an at the beginning or end of word. Not in all cases, but in most cases. So that's a good fallback. Then in the last video, I talked about the C, how C makes two sounds, k and s. So there are some spelling rules that have to go with that because the C can only say k if it's got an A, O, or U after it. If it's E, I, or Y after it, it's going to say the S sound. So that will help kind of like figure out if it's going to be a certain letter or a set of letters that it's possible. The other one I want to talk about here is the AL. If you hear a Schwa at the end with an L, it's not always going to be AL, but if you start teaching your students these kind of words in chunks like general, animal, practical, see how it's O? If you go, okay, if you hear an O at the end, it's probably going to be the A that's taking the place of that sound as a Schwa. So teach them the patterns. It'll get them a lot closer. I wish there was a hard and fast set of rules, but there's just figuring out where the Schwa is, being able to hear it, and then learning some spelling patterns to help your learners be successful with it.